Day 41 through 50. We're almost halfway to 100. The day started off with me breeding all the sheep and then breeding all the cows, and then I worked on building a bridge from the mainland to my island. I fenced it off so no mobs would get in, and then I placed torches so no mobs would spawn in the little enclosure, and then I deforested the entire day. It was a lot of deforesting. Then the next morning, I got back to more deforesting and made some more jungle fences so that I could continue the path. Anything in the way had to go, like I said, so there was just a lot. And then on the way back, I saw this parrot, so of course I had to tame it. I got him on my shoulder, and then I took him in the house and sat him down, and that's where he will stay for a very long time, I promise you. And then I replanted all my oak trees and did some farming and replanted. And then I bred all the chickens, bred all the sheep, bred all the cows, and by that time it was the end of the day, or it was well into the night, so then I went to bed. Afterwards, I replaced the dirt at the bottom of the path with some wood because it just looks nicer and it is more visually appealing. And then I made some more fences so that I could continue expanding the path. Went to bed, and then the next morning continued the path. Anything in the way, like I said, has to go. So I just got rid of a lot of wood and a lot of trees had to go. Then it was the end of the day, so then the next morning I bred all the sheep again, and then I got some more sugar cane, got some milk so that I could make a cake, and I didn't have the ingredients. Then I realized that I had a pink sheep, which was pretty sick. Then I worked on expanding the tower with wool more, and this design I didn't even like because then I tore down the strips closest to the stairs and replaced it with yellow wool because the full red tower didn't really look nice. And then on the inside I used the light gray wool to make this little design happen. And then I went to go shear the sheep, and then I realized that the sheep probably need dirt and grass to be able to make more wool. So then I took out all my anger on these cows and got some leather so that I could make some books. I didn't have paper, so I just put all of the beef into the smelter, got some sugar cane so that I could make paper and then make books. Then I replanted my oak trees that I cut down the day before, did a little bit of farming, and made a cake. I placed down the cake and decided that this entire layer was going to be all one big giant cake. It would be pretty sick. Then I went to bed. Next morning, deforesting. No more trees on my island. So anything in the way had to go. Just kept continuing expanding the path. It was just a long process of just cutting down the trees and then working all through the night and then cutting down more trees and then placing all of this fences and these jungle blocks. And I got to this river and had to cut down more trees, and then a wandering trader with terrible trades appeared below me, and because of his terrible trades I had to get rid of him. He should have had better trades next time. And then even despite these alpacas spitting at me, I still let them so that I could put them into this little enclosure right here, and I was just dodging their spit the entire way. I grabbed the leads and left them. And this time I was working so far into the night that zombies spawned and were attacking me, which hasn't happened in quite a while. So then I kept expanding the bridge until I ran completely out of fences. The alpacas lost their attitude and stopped attacking me. And then I sheared all the sheep and continued the design on the inside. I continued placing red wool on the outside as well, and the pink wool design right here. Replaced the banner, and then decided to outline the light gray wool with gray wool. And then I made some more golden apples just to make sure I don't die, and led these sheep into this enclosure so that they could regain their wool. And I was going to make those sheep yellow and red sheep. Then I bred all the cows, headed into the mine, worked until this pickaxe broke, and then I made a new pickaxe, and then worked until that pickaxe broke, headed out of the mine, and failed to use scaffolding again, unfortunately. And then I kind of figured out how scaffolding worked. Like, I figured out that you could place it by looking at it. I tried to do a time lapse of the sunrise right here, and it just didn't work because it was raining. I was so mad. It would have been pretty cool. So then I decided to use the chopper to get down and then harvest more oak trees so that I could work on this layer and make a new layer. After finishing the layer, I worked on building up the tower even more. and then used the dropper to get down. It'll never not be fun. Replanted all the oak trees, and then turns out I had 2 yellow sheep trapped in there. So I decided to divide the enclosure into 2 so that I could put the red sheep in the other side. Got another sheep, got some poppies so that I could dye them red, and also some wheat so that I could breed them. And then I went to the top of the tower and a skeleton dropped on my head. It was terrifying, so of course I had to place torches so that never happens again. Used the dropper to get down, started flattening a little bit and expanding over here in front of the tower. And this time I could actually do a montage, and I just got ready for the next days. Bye!
Wake up in the mornings with some gas, I feel lovely. Yo, this in my line, she keep saying that she love me. I can never love a bitch, my attitude